An embattled Optus CEO Kelly Bayer-Rossmann has copped a real grilling from senators over the network meltdown that left 10 million Australians without service.
Rossmann admitted 228 emergency calls were unable to go through during the outage, but she dodged questions about whether she should resign and what sort of compensation would be forthcoming.
OK, so one of the politicians firing those questions was Liberal Senator Sarah Henderson, who joins us now from Canberra, along with advertising executive Dee Madigan here in the studio. Sarah, to you. You had plenty of questions yesterday. Were you happy with how she answered them?
Well, Clinton, Jane, good morning. Great to join you. And no, I wasn't happy. I think there were lots of unanswered questions, including on why this failure occurred, because my colleague, Senator Ross Cadell, was actually asking some very good technical questions and getting messages. We understand that there was an industry standard safety mechanism that should have been deployed on the network that wasn't deployed. And it gives rise to the question, why hasn't the Minister for Communications, Michelle Rowland, been demanding these immediate answers? Because we want to make sure this doesn't happen again. This was absolutely catastrophic. There's an estimate of some $400 million in losses. Of course, more than 200 Australians could not ring 000. It was a disaster, and so many more questions need to be answered, and I really do feel that the government has got to step up here.
On that issue of the 000 calls, which is arguably one of the most important aspects of this, Rossmann seemed to be saying that, it's not really us that controls that, there are other systems to blame. Do you think that's acceptable? Who do you think needs to take responsibility for that?
Well, no, Jane, it's not acceptable because the CEO actually blamed the system and the 000 system, but we've also seen contradicting reports saying, no, this was very much Optus's fault. But again, this is a matter for the government because the government needs to make sure that 10.2 million Australians who have an Optus account can connect to 000. So it's not enough to wait for the Senate inquiry to hand down its report. Michelle Rowland needs to be acting right now to ensure that when Australians ring 000, someone will answer and they can get that connectivity. So really, really concerning. I'm really pleased about the role the Senate inquiry is playing, including we changed the terms of reference to make sure that we could hold the government to account. But as I say, I really do believe that the Albanese government needs to step in very, very quickly to ensure all Australians that this won't happen again.